Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Channel Charles Morse. As always, please remember to keep the comment decent, not offensive. And we're talking about Rich, formerly of Reveiw Tech USA. And I've actually talked about Rich a lot of times in a lot of, well, quite often on my channel already. And I'm actually, well, I've got concerned about Richard deleting his one channel and just, deleting the Reveiw Tech USA channel and then actually making the basement. Now he gave an explanation in a video and he said that he wanted to move on with the next chapter in his life. Wherever that takes him. And he wasn't really too happy with the channel. Now, however, the Reveiw Tech USA channel had basically received 1,000 subscribers, maybe even 1 million, but I'm sure 1,000 subscribers is the more accurate number to actually be using, because that, I believe that is how much subscribers Rich actually had on the Reveiw Tech USA channel. It is a channel that is still up. You can go check out Reveiw Tech USA, but the thing is, Reveiw Tech USA is now a archive channel. So you're going to be able to watch Rich's past video that he made on the Reveiw Tech USA channel, but it's not going to have any future uploads on there. So that's that on that. The basement is, I believe that is a place where Richard is going to be buying all these different products and consoles, review them, and then keep them in his basement. Now, I don't know if that's what Richard would actually really do, like absolutely keep them in his basement and then use them whenever he feels like it. I don't know if he does that for sure. But that might be what he'll do. Probably just review them and then, who knows, he might just keep them in his basement and just never want to play on them. Who knows? Maybe he'd send them back and just get his money back. I don't know. I think it's very stupid that you would actually buy a product and review it and then return it. Because you didn't really want it. I think that would just be like a dumb idea. But yeah, I'm actually a fan of the Rich that would want to review products and tech versus the weirdly rich who would take off his shirt, show his fat, hairy chest, and, you know, just start making himself look like a total idiot and, you know, just do the idiot, the sort of idiot kind of streaming that he so likes doing. You know, I kind of happen to find it quite puzzling why you would all of a sudden want to delete your YouTube channel that has, you know, 1,000 subscribers, and people love the Review Tech USA channel, and you just decide, you know, I'm deleting the channel anyway because I want to move on with the next chapter of my life, and, you know, it's not a channel that I'm actually proud of anymore, so I'm just gonna delete the stuff anyway, regardless of having 1,000 subscribers. And even though people have liked that content, I'm just gonna delete the channel anyway because, you know, hey, it's my channel. I can do whatever I want with it. I can delete it regardless of whether people like my channel or not. I mean, I can pretty much do whatever. That basically, that kind of the Richard, I think, he just didn't have any idea what he was doing. You know, sometimes people would just delete their YouTube channel for, you know, they may not even have a reason behind it, and they just, you know, without even thinking about deleting the channel, they just go ahead and do it anyway because they're like, I just can't figure out what I'm going to do with this anymore. You know, kind of behavior, and then, you know, just go with the flow, you know what I mean? You just go with the flow. And then people, you know, won't be able to go back and actually look at the fun videos that you made back on the channel because you decided to delete it. Somebody, however, now I don't know if this is rich, but somebody was able to find the either Rich himself archived it, or somebody found the Review Tech USA channel and archived it. And actually was able to, like, look back at the videos that Rich did back on the Review Tech USA channel, so that people could actually look at the past videos and say that Rich did a pretty good job back then actually reviewing stuff. and just, miss how the channel was real good while being subscribed to it, and then, it's not receiving any more uploads because, you're just not able to view those videos anymore because it was just taken down. The only way you can actually view those videos again is if somebody archived it. Like, archive the channel and just saved, basically some of the channel and the videos that were actually made on it. So, I don't know what Richard is actually going to be doing with the basement. I hope it's not, for product reviews and the stupid BS that Richard always loved doing. Like, I don't know if this is going to be like a secondary, RTU stream. Because I don't even know that for sure. Me, I would hope not. I'd hope that he wouldn't do product reviews on the basement channel and do the weird stuff that he does on RTU streams and make that like a secondary channel where he would like not only just do product reviews but also for his weird streams. I don't think Rich would actually want to use his the basement channel for streams. I don't think that's what he has intentions on. But, I mean, anything is possible. You don't know what people are really wanting to do with their, with the channel. So anything is possible. I mean, Richard could still decide that he wants to be weird on the basement if he ever thought of that, and then, it would be just something that it would just be something that, people would need to be, like, keep a close eye on. You just You just have to be prepared for anything, you know, pretty much. And they gotta just pretty much go from there. Cause, you know, it's, you gotta be, you know, well aware of what is going to happen next. You never know what to expect out of people. It's, you know, it's kind of, so yeah, enough said with that. I mean, it is what it is. If Richard's gonna use the basement channel that he's made for product reviews and for his, you know, mostly his weird streaming, then, you know, it, you know, that for Richard, if that's his decision to actually use that for a combo of product reviews and streaming on that channel, then, you know, it's, you know, for Richard to actually use. It's not my YouTube channel, so, you know, like, hey, if that's his intention on using that channel for those specific reasons, then I'm not going to subscribe to the basement, because, you know, that I've been a subscriber of the Review Tech USA channel. Like I said, that's the Rich that I actually love. That was the Richard that I was a fan of, and, you know, I'm not going to subscribe to any weird channels that are going to be used for, you know, weird purposes, you know? You know, and that's that, okay? You know, I mean, that should be enough for people to actually get a good idea that that's just the type of human being that I actually am. Okay? That's just the way I am, and people just, you know, just ways, in a lot of ways, I think people just need, like, understand that about me. So, yeah, that is what I want to be saying to my YouTube audience, because, you know, I find it very fishy as exactly why would Richard create his own, like, a new YouTube channel and delete the Review Tech USA channel? Alright? Who decides, like, oh, I wasn't too happy with the channel, even though it had 1,000 subscribers, I'm just doing that stuff anyway, because I don't need to move on with the next chapter of my life. Yeah, I'm not too happy about the channel anyway, so I'm just deleting the channel anyway, because, you know, this isn't something that I'm just too proud of. You know, and, that's just the way that it goes, I guess. I mean, life moves on. You have to you know how it is. You just start a new chapter in your life. You have to start fresh, and then you just, you know, you just leave the past YouTube channels of yours that you've done behind you. But there is something from the past that you're not getting rid of. And that is your streaming channel, where you're doing all the weird stuff, watching people spurge, aka Becky Boop. For example, just watching Becky Boop spurge on your streams. That is, not leaving your past videos behind. All those videos that you watched Becky Boop spurge, and all those watching a shirtless fat hairy man stream, that is, that is not, that is not really, a pleasant video, pleasant amount of videos to, actually be watching. I don't care if the women think that Richard is so sexy looking with his shirt off. I don't care about that. I mean, I'm not a woman. I'm also, not gay, so I'm not really a fan of Richard taking his shirt off. If I were, I would be, like, very, very messed up. And people be thinking that I'd just, you know, I wouldn't be normal. Which, yeah, that would be the right thinking right there. Because when, obviously, you're homosexual, you're basically, that means you just, there's just something not right with you. Pretty much. So, if you got, like, problems on being homosexual, I mean, that's a problem, on you, and then, you know, hey, if it's the way that you want to be in life, then okay for you. But certainly I'm not going to go down the homosexual path. Alright, I'd rather be normal. Besides, it'd be normal for me to be, getting married to a female versus a male. And also, if I ever had, children, then, which, obviously I don't even want any children anyway, because, you know, when you get your wife pregnant, you have, responsibilities that come after that. You've got, you start becoming mother and father, and then you have to start, you know, taking responsibility of the babies that you both have together, and, you know, making sure that your kids are, you know, they're just, you know, they have a good life, they have a good education, and because, you know, it takes a lot of responsibility when you actually, have children, you know. And then you can't only just think about what you and your wife want. You have to start considering what your children actually need. So, from there, that's the responsibility stage that both you and your wife have after you decide to have children. The next thing, you start becoming mother and father, and then you have, you know, responsibilities that you have to take care of. That's where you start having to think about what your children want, and not just YouTube. Okay? You know what I mean? So there's always a responsibility if you decide to have kids after you decide to actually on that decision. Alright. And certainly, Boogie 2998 had pretty much said that Richard is a bad dad. I believe that. Because what Richard is pretty much interested in making a lot of is those subscribers on Archie Streams and his other YouTube channels that he creates. He's a narcissist. Alright, and let me just add this. A narcissist's best friend is money alone. Okay? That's just basically what it is that narcissists are all about me, money is my friend, and nobody else. Now, I don't really necessarily think that Richard just appreciates having Jay as a friend. I think he just appreciates Jay just having being there with Richard just for company. So right there, that just actually just says something right there, which says that, you know, narcissists will pretend to be buddies with people. They'll try to be, you know, friendly. They'll try to fit in with the crowd. They'll try to, like, do their best to actually just blend in. And then narcissist behavior can be just like so fishy that you don't even know what the next move that narcissists are actually gonna pull. So I'll probably do like another video about the fishy behavior of narcissism, because I think this is just something that I think there are a lot of people that actually well, I guess I shouldn't say too many people go down that path of narcissism, because, you know, it's not fun being a narcissist. But overall, let me just say that narcissism is it's not good to actually, you know, be one or to even experience one. I've already had experiences of living with a narcissist. The man Jerry Enix, he was indeed a narcissist, and he was absolutely a terrible man. absolutely a terrible man. And living with a narcissist was not really fun with me back then. I simply didn't want to, you know, I didn't appreciate having a stepfather like that. Because, you know, people like that, they will always constantly try to put you down and make you feel like you're worthless. You're just a piece of garbage. And the trauma is too much. And the victim feels like they're just a worthless piece of trash that just needs to go off and just die. Because they feel just completely pathetic and just feel so worthless. I mean, that isn't really fun. I hated that reality nightmare that I actually had to deal with. Alright, and it wasn't fun. But enough with that. Richard is a narcissist, and what he does on RTU streams is, pretty pathetic, I have to say. But again, I gotta say, because of Richard's narcissism, I know, like, I mean, what is the next thing that you could actually expect out of Richard? Probably his, deleting the Reveiw Tech USA channel. I think that he was like, you know, heck with this. I'm just gonna get rid of this channel anyway, but you know what? It's something I wasn't too happy about, and you know, I just didn't continue the Reveiw Tech USA channel, regardless of whether I received like 1,000 subscribers on there. You know, I just didn't even care too much about the Reveiw Tech USA channel. Heck, I was just gonna delete this anyway, because you know what, you know, it's something that I just didn't even wanna, you know, it's something that I just wasn't even proud of anymore. So, I just getting rid of this anyway, regardless of the 1,000 subscribers' feelings are about me taking down this YouTube channel. I'm just gonna do it anyway. Well, why exactly have you created the basement? Like, that doesn't add up. I mean, why would you create another YouTube channel when you actually deleted Reveiw Tech USA? Alright. And you're doing the same thing on the basement channel as Reveiw Tech USA. Alright, and you have to start all that subscription services that you had on Reveiw Tech USA, 1,000 subscribers that you had on the Reveiw Tech USA channel. You have to start that all over again and get those 1,000 subscribers back. And maybe you could pass that milestone of 1,000 subscribers from the Reveiw Tech USA channel, and maybe you'll get even more on the basement. And then by the time, at 10 years from now, or maybe 20 years from now, you'll be like that, no, I'm not gonna continue the basement channel anymore. I think I'm just gonna just delete it and just move on with the next chapter of my life, and then just, regardless of the 1,000+ subscribers that I have on that channel, I'm just going to delete the channel anyway because I just wasn't even too proud of it. I think I see the problem here. And this might be something that I probably, if I had to say something about this, I have to say, I think Richard's just a narcissist that just can't decide, what he wants to do in life. Basically, you basically just go around in your head and just say, I don't even know what I'm going to do in my life. I don't know what I'm going to use my YouTube channels for. Basically, just stammering and just boggling in your head and trying to decide, what am I even gonna do in my life? What am I even deciding here? Oh my goodness, I just can't figure this out. I mean, that's it. I'm deleting my channel anyway. I'm deleting the basement channel because, I just can't make a decision anymore. Narcissism is, just, you don't have an idea in your head what you want to do, basically, and you're just, you just keep on puzzling with the idea of what you want to do. You can't make a decision. I think I would not be surprised if I just wouldn't be surprised if that was, what you'd actually decide to do. I think you just make like a, I guess, how should I say it, last minute decision that you just want to get rid of your one YouTube channel just because you're just a narcissist that just can't even think straight. That's it. And that's what narcissists don't do. They just can't think straight. That's what I wanted to actually get out. Because, truth be said, narcissists just, they just don't think clearly. The brain is wired to just think one way. And believe me, to be living with a narcissist, I certainly understand how the mind of a narcissist is. So, what I actually kind of understand what's going on with Richard's brain, well, kinda, I can kind of understand where Richard's background is. I can understand what goes in Richard's head sometimes. Sometimes I know what goes on in a narcissist's mind. And sometimes I can almost predict what narcissists would do. At some point, there's going to come a time when Richard's going to say, heck with the basement channel, I wasn't happy with the channel anyway. Regardless of the 1,000 plus subscribers that I actually have, I'm just deleting the channel anyway. And you know what? That's your narcissist brain saying, just do the YouTube channel anyway. Heck, why do you even care about anybody else? Why do you care about what anybody else thinks? I mean, just delete it anyway. Just delete your stupid, stinking YouTube channel. Good grief, what are you, stupid? Yeah, that is just the wired, that's just your wired narcissistic brain telling you to just get rid of the stuff that other people love. Basically, narcissists are just lovers of themselves. Basically. And yeah, Boogie2988 was right. Or if I'm even saying his number right. You are a bad dad. Clearly, because you're a narcissist, clearly what I can say is you're just a terrible dad. And for most of it, if I had to say something, you're probably a terrible father to your kids and your children. And believe me, I think probably a lot of people can see your true colors. Just, without the, just without, meeting you in reality and just, all they have to figure out is understanding how the narcissistic brain works. Where the brain is programmed to your brain is wired to just think one way. Yeah. So, need I say more on that? Because I don't really think that I need to, but just in case people actually forget that the narcissistic brain is actually quite insane to even think about. You never know exactly what's going to happen with the narcissist brain. Anything can happen. Anything is possible. So, I don't think that, I don't know. I believe I've given people a clear picture on what goes on with a narcissist. There isn't really any more needing for me to be, like, explaining this actually further. Because, you know, I could go on for, like, probably making a pretty long video talking about the topic of narcissism. But Richard didn't really have any idea what he was doing, why he deleted the Review Tech USA channel. He basically, he did not really, he didn't really consider how other people felt about him deleting the YouTube channel, Review Tech USA. Heck, he just gone ahead and just done it anyway. You know, I think he got up there on camera, just began to explain why he deleted his YouTube channel and saying that, oh, well, you know what, I just decided to just move on with the next chapter of my life, and, you know, it was a channel that I just wasn't too happy about. I mean, oh, was that your true feelings about the Review Tech USA channel? Or was it because your narcissist brain was saying, heck, Richard, you shouldn't care about what your subscribers' feelings are and that stuff. Get rid of the Review Tech USA channel. You actually did a very pathetic job on reviewing all that technology and that stuff. Heck, why don't you just get rid of the channel anyway? Just a piece of garbage. As much as you are on your RTU streams, and like, heck, why do you even have a streaming and a YouTube channel anyway? I mean, you're never going to be any good, Richard. You should just quit YouTube and streaming. That's what you should do. Alright. I don't know how much more explaining on narcissism that I could actually do. That's my best way that I can describe narcissism. Alright. And I think because Richard deleted Review Tech USA channel, you know, I think it's all having to connect with the narcissistic brain of his. Just told him to do that, so that's why I think that he did that. And yeah, I get that you would be thinking that, hey, you know what, I appreciate doing my streams and that stuff better than making the Review Tech USA videos. I appreciated streaming better because that's what I actually loved doing in my free time, and actually watching Becky Boop Spurge and watching the low cow queens just, you know, just doing just absolutely insane things. I mean, probably just call that entertainment to your ears because you're just wanting to satisfy your narcissistic brain of yours. Pretty much. I mean, you obviously would do anything to satisfy that narcissistic brain of yours. And do whatever the heck it is you'd want to fuel that narcissistic brain of yours. Whether it be deleting YouTube channels, whether it be treating other people like worthless piece of garbage, whether it be that, you know, you're just going to, you would just go ahead and actually just, you know, do whatever the heck it is you wanted to just feel that narcissistic brain of yours. In reality, you doing all that stuff, basically, you're just, you're basically, in my opinion, that narcissist brain is just, you know, eating your head, basically, and it's doing nothing but destroying you. Because I can tell you, in the end, Rich, the more that you continue with that narcissistic path of yours, the more that you are just, no, you'll never be happy in life with yourself. So I just want to add that, most of all, Richard, I just happen to think that you just don't have ways of thinking straight. If you're considering deleting your YouTube channels and split decision, like, even if you explain why, people are probably going to think, like, is that how you truly felt about your channel? Richard, is that why you deleted it? Or did you just delete it because you only did what you were happy with? And you didn't care about what your subscribers' feelings were. Because I'll tell you what, I don't know why you are thinking, like, how you can continue to actually, like, start acting like you plain just don't care about what other people feel about you deleting certain YouTube channels of yours. The only thing you care about is yourself. Boogie2998 had said, "You are a bad dad." Alright, and he's not wrong on that. And, you know, I can also say to you, Richard, that because you are a narcissist, I can say, and because of that, that makes you a horrible human being. I know that actually sounds hurtful, painful, and very, 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 very stabby to the heart. But you know what? If you pretty much, if you don't really, even care about anybody else, and all you care about is yourself and the money that you make out of streaming, then obviously you'll never be happy. You'll never be happy. you're always going to keep on digging this big hole of yours, and you're digging yourself much deeper and deeper and deeper. And basically just you're going to keep on digging until you reach the very, very bottom, and you just won't be able to get yourself out of digging that long, deep hole of yours. And believe me, you can just believe me. Richard, your future's not gonna look good for you. Believe me. Sometimes you're gonna be like, I'm just gonna delete the YouTube channel anyway because, you know, it wasn't a channel that I was just proud of. And you're just obviously you have no way of thinking clearly, which a narcissist doesn't do. A narcissist won't think clearly, they won't really, like, they aren't normal people. They just aren't. All they really care about is themselves, basically. And that describes you, Richard. The only person you care about is yourself. You don't care about fulfilling your own desires. You don't care about money, and, you know, you're just not able to, like, just basically almost make decisions for yourself. Obviously. I mean, that truth be said right there. I mean, obviously you have no way of thinking straight. You just, you know, you don't. I just don't know. I just don't even know why. Again, in a lot of ways, I can say it's pretty pathetic. You pretty much gotten yourself into a lot of pretty big mess that you're almost like, you're just stammering and trying to figure out how you just get out of that mess and that stuff, and you just can't even figure it out clearly. You know. And you know, it's because you're basically a narcissist and you can't think clearly. No? And basically, I think a lot of people can probably figure this out, but I would say, truly, you're pretty pathetic and stupid to the head. I know that this wouldn't be right to actually say about a human being, but, you know, when they can't think straight, something's wrong with them, and they just don't realize it. If you're a narcissist, you're not going to realize it anyway. Yeah, of course, when you are when you're trying to figure out, well, how do I get out of this? Oh, you'll never be able to think straight. Not with the narcissist mind that you have. I mean, I just be honest with you on that. Narcissists don't have a clearly working, functional brain. They'll never be able to think clearly for themselves. Alright, they'll try to think straight, but they can't do it. Why? Well, like I said, narcissist brain is wired to think one way. So, what more could I actually say on that? You know what I mean? Clearly, there is, I guess, basically, almost, in my opinion, explaining the narcissist brain is quite, it's actually, pretty, overwhelming to me. It's frustrating to actually talk about this, but, you know, at the same time, it's also good that I actually, you know, get my subscribers' attention. It's good that I actually, you know, make people aware of, you know, what to expect. So you're confused, cowering, and that, well, I think it's just, you know, pretty clear that you clearly have no idea how to actually think clearly anymore. Now, you might be thinking that, well, my channel, the basement is just a chance for me to start fresh and that stuff, and maybe it's a channel that you'll probably be proud of one day. But no, you won't. Not with that narcissism of yours. You're not gonna be happy, really. And you're just not going to be, you know, happy ever. Alright. Yeah, I like to see how long you could actually keep the channel The Basement. I love to see how long that lasts you. Yep. I don't know how long you're gonna keep the basement channel up. I don't know how many years you're gonna keep that channel up. I don't even know exactly. I don't even know exactly if you are even, really true about your feelings about other people, which I'd say clearly you aren't true about your feelings at all. I think all that stuff you said about you deleting your YouTube channel, Reveiw Tech, you said well, because you weren't proud of that channel. Well, of course you weren't proud of that channel. You didn't care about the number, like the thousands of subscribers on there. You pretty much clearly didn't even care about that. And you didn't really care too much to actually, you didn't care to keep the Reveiw Tech USA channel up so that you could actually just, keep on talking about tech. And eventually, probably 10 or 20 years from now, you'll probably do the same thing to the basement. And I can say exactly why you may delete the basement in, let's say, 2045. Or maybe in 2040. Alright, and the reason why you probably delete the basement channel is because you just like, well, I just wasn't proud of that channel anymore, and I just like, I decided to just take that down and actually just start another chapter, another new chapter in my life, and I just wasn't even like too I just wasn't even too happy about the channel anymore. That's why I took it down. I mean, I appreciate live streaming more than doing this Reveiw Tech stuff. I mean, it would have been good for my career and as a hobby and that stuff, but I thought about that for a while, and then in the end I just decided, heck, I'm just deleting the basement anyway, because what the heck, who gives a crap about how much subscribers that the channel's actually gotten? Like, who gives a crap about that? Heck. Yeah. It just, it wasn't, let me just say this. it's a narcissist talking to you on camera, and it's basically them saying a bunch of stuff that obviously they don't even have like show like emotion or true feelings about what they're saying and that stuff, and then it's like they're saying stuff that they want you to think that they feel when they actually really don't. The only true feeling is that, well, the channel just wasn't doing too well. It's something I wasn't very too happy about. And that's going to be, of course, it's not going to be a channel that you're going to be too happy about, because you know what? You're just, your brain is just wired to think one way. It's that narcissist brain of yours that keeps on telling you to delete your YouTube channel after, let's say, 10 years or 20 years, and then all of a sudden you start new, and then the same cycle just keeps on repeating itself and repeating itself. Over and over and over again. The cycle of narcissism just keeps going over and 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 over, and it keeps on repeating itself non-stop. Therefore, you're always making yourself very unhappy. You may try to make yourself happy with live streaming and that stuff, and trying to make yourself just blend in with the crowd, which literally that doesn't really work. Alright, you could try chatting with your best buddy Jay, Richard, and streaming with Jay, but that's not going to actually help you anymore. It's gonna make you actually feel, I gotta be honest, it's gonna make you feel like you're having a good time with your best buddy. But you know what? It's your narcissist brain that's telling you, hey, you know what? I enjoy your company, man. This is such a good talk. I am just so, hey, man, you can have a bite to eat from me anytime you want to. Friend. Okay, you can have all the steaks you want from me and that stuff. You can have all this stuff. You know that you are my bestest friend in the world. And, you are just, such a wonderful thing that's actually happened in my life. And you're just, I can't tell you how happy I am to have you, buddy. Oh, you're so special to me. Like, maybe those feelings that you're saying to your buddy just isn't really true. And maybe you're just doing exactly what your narcissist brain is telling you to do. Just think one way. I just, you know, I gotta say, it's quite chaotic and crazy that what the narcissistic brain makes people do, but at the same time, I just can't just laugh at how pathetic people are when they actually, they just, make it continue making themselves look like a total idiot. Because I'll just say, the narcissist brain is, there's only one thing that, well, another thing I gotta mention is, because you have a brain of a narcissist, you have ways of trying to, I guess I could call it like switch wires of the narcissist brain and actually, be like, okay, I guess I can, be like, I guess once for a while, I guess I can, I guess I can just play Mr. Nice Guy for a while, just, not give people dramatic problems, and just give my narcissistic head for a while just refuel, give it the rest that it needs so that I can actually continue just being a total idiot to the rest of the world. I guess I can let that part of my narcissistic brain, or let that wire in my head just rest for a while and just play Mr. Nice Guy for a while and just, being buddies with people and that stuff, just have fun playing Mr. Nice Guy and just, being how, just being nice for a while. Just do what I can to just get along with people and then just start resting that wire of my brain. That way that I'll be back and up at it again to cause more dramatic BS for people all over again. And then when I find out that I had enough there, just give it more rest. And then when that wire is recharged, I just be back to giving people more BS and drama and chaos. And then, now, like I said, it would be an ongoing cycle over and over and over and over. I'm sorry about that. I'm just, you know, I, I don't know why I'm having such a good time actually just talking about this. Ultimately, this is quite a stressful topic to actually talk about, but you know, at the same time, I just happen to, you know, when I find a real good topic that I actually do a good job talking about, you know, I could go on for like long periods of time of actually talking about it. Yeah. And I believe that the reason why Rich just deleted the Review Tech USA channel was because his narcissistic brain wanted him to do so. I don't think I need to be doing more explaining on that, because, you know, overall, I think I did a pretty good amount of explaining the mind of a narcissist. I don't know how much more I can explain about the mind of a narcissist more than what I've actually just said about a narcissist's brain being wired to think one way. I mean, they have one wire, but I think they have like different modes that they can actually switch to. Like, the part of the narcissist brain, I'd like to call it nice guy mode, where they will do whatever they can to just blend in with the crowd and just get along with people, act like they're like, hey, you and I are best buddies. We're gonna be best buddies forever, friend. You're my bestest friend. We're gonna have lots of fun together, you and me. Come here, let me give you a hug, buddy. Let me just hug you tight, nice and tight. Oh, come here. I want to give you the biggest bear hug you ever had, friend. You know, don't you think that's a real big mess up there? Don't you think you'd ever hear people talk like that ever? I mean, it's my goodness. I mean, really? No! No, that's not how normal people talk to other people anyway. I mean, I mean, really. No, if some idiot was talking to me like that, I'd be thinking, whoa, 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 buddy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're wanting to give me the biggest bear hug ever? You out of your mind, buddy? No, I'm not. No, I'm not giving you a big bear hug. No, leave me alone, leave me alone, mysterious stranger. You're scaring me over here. Yeah, a little bit of drama with that one, but yeah, you kind of did pretty much just get my point right there. Enough with being comical for a minute there. Just being, I'm trying to be serious with people here. And just really, oh my goodness. I really don't want to be talking more about this narcissism stuff, but, at the same time, I just can't, almost stop enjoying the fact that I'm actually just, being comical and actually trying to demonstrate the mind of a narcissist and trying to make myself sound like I'm a messed up person. I can't say I enjoy the pleasures of making myself sound like a messed up person, but, at the same time, it's pretty funny that, I, just, somehow I just keep on talking about narcissism. Pretty much because I love to, imitate how a narcissist's brain works. I don't care about how good of friends Richard and Jay are in their friendship. I don't care about that. I don't care about how best buddies they are. As soon as Jay actually does something to actually, to do stuff that frustrates Richard again, the relationship between Jay and Richard is going to be just wrecked all over again. And then, now, for Jay being a normal person and, not being a narcissist, I think Jay would probably, I would, now, let me just switch to actually talking about Jay again. Or I haven't talked about Jay, the former cameraman of Reveiw Tech USA. I haven't really talked about Jay, but Jay did admit that Richard had narcissistic problems. And Jay has ways of being a normal, just a regular, normal human being. I've noticed that Jay even filled in for Rich in a couple of Reveiw Tech USA videos, and I said to myself, hey, I like this better. I like this better that Jay is actually, filling in for Richard for Reveiw Tech USA, and Jay's making Reveiw Tech USA sound like a normal channel, just doing product reviews, and, refraining from swearing and cussing. That stuff. I said, hey, Jay's sounding like a professional businessman when he's doing this. So, my thought was, if Jay was doing, product reviews, and I was listening to Jay doing product review versus Richard doing product reviews, I probably wouldn't even liked anything better. In fact, if I were going to probably subscribe to anybody doing product reviews, I'm probably going to subscribe to Jay, just because, hey, I think Jay is actually much more of a normal human being than Richard is. So anybody can type in the comment section, hey, if you agree with me on this, then you should type in the comment section, hey, Child Morse, you're right. Jay would actually sound like a better human being to actually be a subscriber to versus Richard. Because Richard has a lot of stuff that is so messed up in his life. And I agree with you. Being a subscriber to Jay's channel would actually be, better. And then being a subscriber to Jay's channel would actually, be much better for you. And, I probably did not listen to the warning signals too much when I was told. I believe one of my family members told me to, actually not be subscribed to not be a subscriber to Review Tech USA, and simply I didn't recognize the warning signals too much back then than I actually should have. I was more interested in watching somebody talk about tech, not knowing that Richard had some narcissist problems. And believe me, from the experience that I have with just even living with one, I think even watching one is probably too much to even cope with. And too much to even take. I mean, Richard is a good guy. He's a nice, hairy man. Regardless of him being fat and hairy, Richard is a good guy. It's just his narcissist problem just making him a horrible human being. That's just stuff that I just don't like about people. Okay? Yeah, I just do not, understand why some people are just the way that they are. And life is the way that life is. There are people that what can I say? It will be idiots and narcissists will be narcissists. It's as simple as that. And besides, I don't even have to more explaining on that, because you know what, I'm actually just, it's the truth of what I just said right there. Stupid idiots are going to be idiots, and narcissists are going to be narcissists. When an idiot doesn't want to change, they're going to stay an idiot. And when a narcissist doesn't want to change, even though they say they will, most of the time, they'll never, ever change their narcissistic ways. Alright? It's as clear like that. It's as simple as that. And that's the way life is, That is just, how life works here. It's not like I can change what people do. It's not my, it's like, I don't have a magic power where I can actually influence the mind of a narcissist to actually stop doing, or idiots to stop doing the idiotic stuff that they're doing. Such as, like, I couldn't stop people like Robert Card from doing the stuff that he did, just carrying out a mass shooting with an AR-15, and he had a bunch of mental health problems. I couldn't stop that. I couldn't stop Salvador Ramos from killing 10 kids and 2 teachers. I couldn't stop those people from carrying out their idiotic decisions. And I certainly couldn't stop Jerry Enix from simply keep on from, what he did. And I'll tell you the story right there. He was just, from what I was told he just, looks for women that are not afraid to get dirty, like dirty, and then he has fights with those women, and what does he do? He dumps them, and then he goes to find a new girl that is extra dirty, and then once that woman does something to actually frustrate narcissistic Jerry Enix, he has a big argument, then he breaks up with that girl, he goes to find another extra dirty woman, and then, you know what? And just like that, I don't even need to say it again, because you know what? I'm just gonna say it like this. The cycle keeps on repeating on and on again. Meaning, he has fights with that woman, he goes to find another woman that is extra dirty. That's what I mean when the cycle keeps on repeating itself. Then what he does is he has another fight with that woman again. He goes to find another extra filthy woman. And I forgot to mention that in the process of having a big argument, he goes to McDonald's just about like daily. And trust me, eating that disgusting food daily, it just makes you, basically fat and overweight. Where if you wanted to get rid of all that fat, that would require like daily jogging routines to the Y. And then, it requires like daily exercises on a treadmill, and it will require like lots of weightlifting and workout at the gym. It will require that like daily as much as you eat that McDonald's food. And the gym is a way to actually cope with a lot of that stress after you've had a massive But for example, like, hey, if I were Richard, I would be getting to I'd be getting to a YMCA that you could actually get to and actually work off that fat of yours. Because, you know, um, what, from what I can say is, ultimately, um, you know, the whole thing isn't good for you. Because if you're going to be like a hairy fat man for the rest of your life, I mean, that's not good for you. And I think because you're so comfortable in your comfort zone, I think you're going to actually let yourself get like more fat than you actually really are, and then you're just going to be you're just gonna let yourself just become extra hairy and fat, and you won't ever bother on getting rid of it. And why would you not get rid of your fat anyway? Oh, because all you pretty much care about is just like doing product reviews when you can and streaming. And you're just a hairy, fat, lazy man that's just, you know, I have to say, a hairy, fat man that's just, won't even want to change his ways. I mean, what more can I say? So, yeah. I don't know how much more I can actually explain this. I had enough for Fortnite. So I'm actually just going to move on to Super Smash Brothers because that's one of my favorite games to play. The Minds of a Narcissist is it's again this is what I have to say. a narcissist. It's really overwhelming to actually get into the mind of a narcissist. It's pretty crazy to get into the minds of a narcissist. It's overwhelming to talk about. And, you know, Jay, I have to say, is much more normal than Richard. And I don't think Jay is a narcissist. I think Jay is a good guy. I think Jay knows how to be more of a normal person than Rich does. I think Rich will try to blend in with the crowd and actually try to be a normal guy. But in the end, let me just tell you that narcissists just can't really do that. Because a narcissist trying to blend in with the crowd, let me just tell you, they'll never be able to do that. And they'll never be happy in their lifetime. Ever. And I'm just going to say, for real, I don't trust Richard of RTU streams. You can't trust a narcissist to be a good person. You just can't do that. Okay. One more here. I'm almost pretty much running out of battery here. My Switch is about to die here. Yeah. Jay, you know, I gotta say, I say for Jay, between Rich and Jay, I say Jay is more normal than Richard. Simply because Jay is not a narcissist like Rich is. And Jay, I think, has a normal functioning brain than Richard. So, I mean, you're not going to be able to, well, you're not going to change a narcissist. Okay, it's not even possible. Richard is going to continue being the messed up psychopath that he is. Okay. One more. I'm doing one more. So, truth be said, Jay is better than Richard brain-wise. Brain-wise, I'm going to say brain-wise. Because in case you know, in case you actually know, so that you clearly have a good understanding. Jade's brain is not wired to think one way. I don't think Jay is a narcissist more than Richard is. Richard's brain is wired to think one way, simply because he's a narcissist. And Richard is always blending in with the crowd. He's always doing crazy, idiotic things. You just have to expect that there's always going to be weird stuff that Richard does, and that he's always going to act like So I don't even need to do any more explaining on that. I think I done enough. I think you have a clear picture of what narcissism looks like here. You have a good, well, sorry, sorry, part of my dog, they got a real loud mouth. Is a black and white, pit bull, and he's got a real loud mouth. Yeah, I want to say that getting into the mind of a narcissist is quite, it's quite overwhelming. I mean, Jay is more normal, in my opinion. I believe that Jay doesn't have any narcissist problems. So, yeah, that should be, that should be enough, explaining from me that I've done in this video. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. I hope that I actually have helped you understanding Richard's Anyway, I hope that you all have enjoyed this video. I hope that you all have enjoyed hearing me just talk about narcissism, exactly why Richard, formerly of Reveiw Tech, did say why he deleted his YouTube channel. I think that narcissism his narcissism pretty much paints a clear picture as to why he did all that. Okay? It's like, again, I want to say it pretty much like it's connected all those dots. Now, even I don't really know for sure if this was the real reason. But again, I can actually almost pretty much say that it's almost clear that the whole reason why he did do this stuff there's that crazy narcissistic behavior. Like I said, where the person's brain is wired to think one way. So, when narcissists can't make up their mind about what they want to do when it comes to one decision, it's almost like, the only thing that they can pretty much make a decision on is only caring about them, what they want to do for themselves. And that is pretty much it. So, again, I want to say thank you so much for watching this channel. This has been a 2-hour plus video. I know this video is really, really long. I know that this has been quite an interesting video that I hope that you give this a good listen to and listen to the words that I've actually said to you very carefully. And with that, Have a good day. I will see you on my next video. Have a good day. And do your best to avoid Richard in case stuff actually gets out of hand. In case you are actually subscribed to the basement. And to RTU stream. Because if you look at the difference between Jay and Rich, Jay will pretty much be better than, I gotta say, Jay will be way better than Jay. You may notice the difference between Jay and Richard and their attitudes. Have a good day. I will see you on the next video.